songs. I freaking love Torn Wells, and that song by Jessica Mack is so funny. I discovered it on Instagram, and every time I post it, which I post every morning, if you don't know, I post it on Instagram, and everyone always writes me about that song and how inspirational it is. So I guys, save that song to your phone. I encourage you to listen to that song every single morning, because what it's saying is thank you, God, for just giving me another day. And that right there is the beauty in all of it, right? So I'm going to start, let me reverse. Sorry, guys. So my name is Monique. I go by Killer Curls on all social media platforms. Here I host Queenspirations, midday motivation, right? Inspiration to get you through your day, but not only your day, but your life, your journey, because that is what this is. This is a journey. And I'm learning every single day more and more how this journey is looking and what it's going to look like. And guys, honestly, we don't know the future, but here we are trying to get through it. So today I'm going to be talking about turning your pain into purpose. Before I do that, I just want to thank you guys for being here. I always do this. I skip through. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for knowing the importance of pouring into yourself, because without being able to pour into yourself, you are going to be trying to pour into the world, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. So I am proud of you. I want to just let you guys know that I'm so proud of you for taking initiative on your life. You could be doing anything else at this moment, scrolling through social media, right? Doing all the things, but you're here today. So thank you for being here with me. With that being said, I'm going to talk about turning your pain into purpose. Oh my gosh, guys, this is huge for me. As most of you guys know, I did come from a conference, and I'm going to refer back to this conference very often, especially because it's kind of recent and fresh in my brain. But this conference really changed my life. And I could say that wholeheartedly. It was transforming for me. And guys, I'm going to tell you something also. They're going to send out a recording. So I'm going to send that to you guys. I'm going to, if it's something that you're interested in, I will send it to you, because I want you guys to feel what I felt in that moment. Okay. It's, of course, you know, being live in person is different, but actually hearing those stories of these individuals and how they actually turn their pain into purpose. I got you. I definitely will share that with you guys as soon as they give it to me, because like I said, it's impactful as hell. It's impacted me forever. So here we are. So I want you guys to know that some of the most beautiful things in life were born or made out of struggle, had come from struggle, right? What does that look like? Seeds and roots pushing through the earth's ground, right? Caterpillars becoming butterflies. Guys, you know, have you guys ever watched the transformation of a caterpillar? I know in 4th or 3rd grade, one of them, they made us get the caterpillars and we had to watch it every single day and let it become a cocoon and all the things. Guys, this caterpillar that was once free is now cocooned into a mummy. I don't know what the hell you want to call it, but it's cocooned to the point of transformation, right? So it's literally blocked in this thing until it could become a butterfly. And that's what our life is like, okay? And most things come from struggle. Most beautiful things come from struggle. Our lives, think about us. I'm going to tell you, if you ask any of your moms, I could tell you for sure that they're going to tell you that you being born was hard. Whether they pushed you, whether they had a C-section, whether they went through heartburn when they were pregnant with you, whatever it is, right? It comes from pain, but the beauty that came after was so worth it. It was so worth it. And that's what life is. It's full of struggles. It's full of obstacles that are put upon us that we don't ask for, that we can't sometimes control, but we got to be able to push through them. Okay, so we can agree that pain has a powerful way of teaching us things, right? We can agree that it takes a hard blow to make us realize, holy crap, this is happening, right? It takes some people getting a diagnosis of cancer to actually dig deep into their life to figure out what the meaning of their life is, because now they feel like their time is limited. Guys, I'm here to tell you that your time is limited. You don't need cancer to tell you that. You don't need a diagnosis to tell you your time is limited. We have one life, one. So what are we going to do with that life? Are we going to sit in our pain, or are we going to make it a valuable lesson so that we can live in our purpose? So I want to tell you guys a story about a guy that was on the stage. I'm going to tell you about 2 people. So this guy that was on stage this weekend, his name is Jordan. And guys, he's younger than all of us, probably. He's like 22. He's young. The point of me telling you that is that he literally just recently had an experience, or not just recently, but like when he was in high school, had an experience with a friend that had contacted him via Facebook Messenger. And because he was too busy hanging out with the cool kids, because that's what he thought, you know, image is everything back when you're young, and or even now, right? He was living in this image life. And so he was with the cool kids. He's like, I don't got time to text him back. I'll hit him up later, whatever, cool. Guess what happens? That friend that hit him up committed suicide the next day. That forever changed his life. And what did Jordan do with that pain? Because that was pain. That kid was on the stage crying about this situation. Because think about that. How he's living in regret now, thinking, if I would have answered that phone call, if I would have texted him back, I could have saved his life. Who knows what I could have done for him? All of the things, right? But what he did in turn, instead of sitting in his crap, instead of feeling sorry for himself and victimizing himself, he turned it around. And now he has a nonprofit organization called Gen Y, which is for the youth with mental illness, the youth that come from nothing, the youth that have broken households, that come from poor households, all of the things. He has changed the dynamic of Oklahoma and the kids in Oklahoma that need love and all the things, because he went through that pain. And in his mind, he's like, I never want another kid to commit suicide because they didn't have anyone to reach out to. So now that's what I encourage all of us to do, right? We have that power to be able to really feel our pain. I'm not telling you guys to let your pain go unnoticed. You're going to feel your pain. This is normal. I want you to feel it, but I want you to understand that there's a reason why you have to go through this pain. Another guy, his name is Anthony. He got on the stage. He was carried onto the stage. One, because they messed up and didn't have a ramp, and he's in a wheelchair. But this kid lived his life. He was engaged to a woman, he was making six figures, had a really good job, all the things. Young kid too, 21. And one day decided to go out with his friends. His fiance was pregnant at the time. Went out with his friends, got on a motorcycle across to go down the street to his cousin's house, got hit, or he swerved off the road because of gravel, and he was paralyzed from his chest down. Okay. Did I just tell you guys, his fiance was pregnant, 2 months pregnant. What does that mean? That the one person that was supposed to care for him, she was pregnant. She couldn't care for him. She couldn't pick him up and do all the things, right? So it tore them apart. It tore them apart. This guy went from having a six-figure income to having to go work at Walmart because nobody would take him because he was in a wheelchair. What could he do? So they gave him an $8.50 job to greet people at the door. But what did he do? He made the best of that situation. He smiled at everybody. He greeted everybody. And then the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, this kid decided to take his pain and go on TikTok. Go talk about it. Talk about his situation. This man is now famous on TikTok, which has landed him multiple movies. He's in Netflix movies. He's a model for Walmart now. He just made a commercial for Walmart. Okay. So I'm here to tell you guys that although that adversity happened, right? He's not able to take his daughter, do what he wants with his daughter that was born after that. He lost his fiance. He lost everything. He was laying in bed and could have just sat there in his shit. He was explaining to us that to just get in the car, because he drives himself, just to get in the car, he has to get in the car. He has to break his wheelchair apart, put his wheelchair in the passenger side, drive to the gas station, get out, unload the wheelchair, hop out into all the things. That's just to go to the gas station. We take for granted those things. We tell ourselves we can't, when this man that's in a wheelchair that is paralyzed from his chest down is doing it, because he decided, I'm not going to sit and be a victim of my circumstances. I'm going to make purpose out of my pain. And so what he do, he went on TikTok, like I said, he became famous, and he spoke his story to those that need him, because there's people just like him going through what he went through and feel like they can't go through it. There's people just like you that have gone through pain, that they feel like they can't go through it, but because you survived it, You are now the prodigy. You are now the person that's going to help them get through it. And you don't even know it yet. Okay. So there is a lot of things that we have to go through and endure that feel like we're not going to get by. That in that moment, if we allow it to dictate our lives, it will really knock you out. It can take you out. It could have you breathing on this earth, but not living at all. It could cripple you to the point where you cannot even think of anything else but the pain that you have endured. And sometimes it's not even the pain. It's not even the wound. It's not the fact that you can't feel your legs. It's not the fact that you can feel pain in your back. No, it's the memory of what could have been. It's the thought of what, oh man, if I didn't have this arthritis, I could run up that hill. So do something else. Figure it out. Run in as far as you can, and then you can't no more. That's okay, but you did it. You gave somebody that was at the bottom of the hill the strength to get to the middle of the hill, something they didn't think they could even do. But it takes us being the person that pushes through so that we can give somebody else that strength. I know it sounds crazy. You're like, how could I ever give anybody strength to get past this and that when I can't even get through it? Well, that's what the point, that's the point of this call. Okay. To understand that you are no longer a victim of your circumstances. And like I said, we have to be able to move forward. Okay. All right. So pain creates a wound that creates a deeper wisdom. Okay. So someone that never lost their mom cannot speak on losing their mom. They can't. I don't care what you say. Okay. I say that because my wife, in 2 years of us being together, the first year we lost her grandma, which was her mother figure. And then the next year we lost her father, which was her life. Okay. And we were both, me and my wife were together hand in hand, watching both of them take their last breaths. Okay. And that was tough, but I could never say that I know what that feels like. I still have my grandmother. I still have my father. I don't know what that feels like, even though I was right there in the middle of it. I don't know what it feels like. And so what happens is that pain that she feels, that she's experiencing, she can utilize it as wisdom to push through that pain, not only push through that pain, but give somebody else the power that they need to move forward. And I'm going to tell you why I say that. You guys have witnessed, some of you guys that have been on this call have witnessed or have heard me tell you guys how I don't speak to my mom, or I didn't speak to my mom. Sorry, let me correct that. I wasn't speaking to my mom for a long time, since Mother's Day. I wasn't talking to her. My sister and I weren't speaking to her. It took Erica, which I wish she was on this call, but she's not on this call. But Erica is one of our girls that come on the call, right? And she lost her mother. Guys, she opened up and told us that she lost her mother and, you know, how horrible she felt because of X, Y, and Z. And all I could think about is how selfish of me to come on here and talk about how I'm so mad at my mom for the past and the pain and all the things when she's suffering because she lost her mother. So that turned everything around for me. When she spoke, I said, listen, that was God telling me, Monique, you need to get over your shit. You need to go talk to your mom. And that's what I did. And yeah, it's still a rocky it's a work in progress, but it's work. It's a step that I took. But I'm telling you that because it took Erica's pain for her to show me strength, for her to be able to have pushed through the death of her mother, for me to be my eyes to be open to the fact that it can't be that bad. My situation is not that bad. I could push through this pain, right? So her pain was my purpose. So now I'm going to give you guys 5 ways to turn your pain into purpose. I'm going to let y'all go because I feel like this is real heavy. And I'm sorry if it's heavy for any of you guys. But guys, this is important. It's important. I want you guys to all understand that your pain is not unnoticed. It's not invalid. What you feel is super valid. And I see you. I hear you. I love you. Okay. And most importantly, God loves you guys. God has made you in his image, right? But we have to endure certain things so that we can live in our purpose. That's just the reality. If you go through nothing, you have nothing to talk about. But I can guarantee you that every single one of you guys, whether you haven't noticed it or not, have endured some type of pain. that you thought you could never push through. And here you are pushing through because you're still here. As long as you still have a beat in your heart and air in your lungs, you have purpose. You guys were not made for no reason. None of us. There's nobody here that was made just to walk on this earth and be cute. Every little thing has a purpose, and you're one of them. So number one is look for the silver lining in the situation. Ask yourself, is it possible you've been looking at that painful memory the wrong way? What if that pain was a blessing you weren't meant to understand until much later? And find a way to help others going through the same thing, because it'll help you heal too. It's huge. It's huge. My sister had a breakthrough at this event. She's not here today. She's not on the call, but same thing with her, listening to other people's stories, and the fact that she's been holding in these things that she's gone through her whole life, not realizing that the only way she's going to be able to move past them is if she vocalizes them. And the reason she needs to vocalize them is because in her vocalizing them, it's going to cause someone else to understand why they had to go through what they're going through. It's going to give somebody else the courage that they need to see that there's a living being here that went through that and they got through that. How many of us have gone through breakups and we're like, oh my God, I mean, I can speak for myself. I've gone through breakups that were I swear I thought they were put in place to take me out. To take me out. But here I am, married. It's crazy to think that. But just 6 years ago, I thought it was over. I was laying on my sister's couch, having to take pills to go to sleep because I couldn't get out of the thoughts in my head, right? It took me, and I'm not going to lie to you, even after I'm married now, right? But it's even still now that I'm learning. I'm watching people around me go through breakups, go through divorces, right? And have way bigger things that they have to deal with that are tied to that breakup. I didn't have nothing. I didn't even have a dog with these people. But it was just the heart that I was feeling the pain. But now that I can see other people be courageous enough to get through the things they're getting through, like breakups, amongst having children and things that are connected, now I'm like, wow, that wasn't so bad. But if those people didn't vocalize their circumstances and I didn't watch them get through it, I would not have understood. I would still be feeling bad for myself. I would be married right now, still questioning why I went through what I went through 6 years ago. And what does that do? Leaves me in my head full of bitterness, full of pain, and it doesn't let me move forward, even though I'm married to a whole nother person. I'm carrying on this pain and not understanding that there was purpose to that pain. Maybe it was meant to teach me how to love my wife that I have now that's going through pain, right? Who knows? I still don't know. But the point is that I'm here. And it took other people's pain and courage to show me that I could do it too. Okay? So guys, understand that in helping other people, it's going to help you heal too. Okay? So number 2 is get your feelings out on paper. I know I talk about journaling often, but this is different. This is not a prompt. This is not a question that they ask and you respond to it. This one, you need to dig deep. And whatever comes to your mind, I mean, any words, it could be cuss words, it could be drawings, it could be whatever it is, write it down. But when you write it down, don't be ashamed, because that's what happens. A lot of us have these thoughts. We won't write it down because we're like, oh, I don't want to be judged with that one. You ain't going to judge me. That's me. I'm big with that. The shame, I will save it, babe, I promise. The shame can literally, it can knock you out. You're so shameful. You're so worried about what people think that you don't feel what you feel. So you need to write it down. You need to write it down, because when you write it down, once you've reflected, you notice the patterns that are taking place in your pain. Because see, what happens is we think, oh, death and breakup, that's oh my God, that's off the radar. That's not even the same. But for some people it is. The pain you felt when you lost somebody is the same pain that other person felt when they broke up with somebody. And it might, you can't fathom it, of course, right? But that's just, everybody's pain is everybody's pain. But there are certain things when you write it down that you start to notice about yourself in that pain. And when you write those words down and you write those illustrations down, you then can start to see what the purpose is in that pain. You then can start to connect. Whoa, I feel ashamed. I feel disgusted with myself, unworthy, all the things. And then when you hear it from someone else that they feel those things, you're like, whoa, that's it. You're the person I need to talk to. I remember writing that word down because I felt that. Now it's my turn to give it to you. Now it's my turn to help you through this pain. There goes my purpose. Okay, so write it down. Number 3 is shift from anger to forgiveness. Woo, woo. This one's a hard one. Anger to forgiveness. Are you kidding me? You think I'm gonna forgive him? Oh no, I ain't forgiving him. He hurt me. Now I can't be happy with the next man because boom, boom, boom. Now I'm over here all bitter and stuff because wow. Forgive them? How could I ever? You can. You will. You have to make a decision though, right? You have to understand that your heart is a closet, right? How often do you get rid of old clothes so that you can fit new ones? Jasmine's like, nah, I need to. That's a reflection though. It might be a reflection of what's inside. Same here. They say that your closet is a reflection of how you feel. It's crazy. Your closet, my closet's a mess. Just wanna, woo, my closet has always been a mess. It's weird to say that, but that's the reality. And so think of your heart as a closet. Until you get rid of old clothes, you cannot fit new clothes in your closet. Until you get rid of bitterness, hurt, anger, shame, you can't accept love. That goes for relationships. That goes for anything. We make decisions sometimes. People make mistakes, right? And you make a decision to stay with this person. Are you going to continue to harbor it? You're going to hold that sweater in your closet forever? Or are you going to throw it out? So then now you're giving permission to this person to love you correctly, right? Because if not, we hold on to those mistakes and guess what? Every little thing they do looks like a mistake. I've been there. I'm there with my wife. I do the same thing. I hold on to the every word, because it's one thing that she said at one point that hurt me so bad. Now it's like, I know what you meant. When really that's not what it was. And it's so hard for us to move past those things. But we really have to start to look at our hearts like a closet. Let go of the anger. Throw out that old shirt. Throw out them sneakers. That's it. They done. They ain't getting you nowhere. And allow yourself to get new things. Love, gratitude, all of the things that are good. All of the things that make you feel good. Okay? So we're shifting our anger to forgiveness. All right. Oh, and then I wanted to say something else about the anger to forgiveness thing. And oftentimes we don't want to forgive because we think, oh, if I forgive this person, they think they could just do whatever they want. It's not for them. Forgiving someone is not for them, it's for you. When you forgive, like I said, you make room for the other things that you deserve, like love, like joy, like laughter. It's hard to laugh sometimes because we're so full of all that crap in our heart that we let stay there. So we have a choice and we can decide that we're going to let go of anger and we're going to embrace forgiveness for us, for our heart. Because I know my closet needs to be decluttered. Okay. All right. So number 4, we're going to gain perspective. So bad things happen to good people all the time. We can allow it to consume us, or we can allow it to fuel our life's purpose. Like I told you guys about Jordan. He could have allowed the fact that his friend took his life and allowed it to consume him. And what happens when we get consumed in hurt and anger? We turn to things like drugs, alcohol, toxic people, toxic environments. So instead of him holding on and harboring to that pain, he utilized that pain to fuel his purpose. And what is his purpose? Now he's helping other children with mental illness. He's helping other kids know that they have a purpose in this life. We have to understand that. Same thing with Anthony, like I told you guys. He could have sat in his bitterness. The man can't feel his legs. He can't carry his daughter. Well, he can carry her, but he can't carry her and walk and do all the things that we can do. He could have sat in his stuff, laid in the bed, accepted assistance or whatever. He does everything on his own. Not only did he get through that, but he's allowed himself to find his purpose, and he's over here inspiring other people, whether it be fame on TikTok, whether it be a commercial for Walmart, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The fact that he's able to tell his story on a stage, the same stage that Trent Shelton was on, speaks volumes for the fact that he turned his pain into purpose. He didn't sit in it, but he could have. He has every excuse. And we'll lay in bed and be like, I'm too tired. I only got 4 hours of sleep. I can't get up. Meanwhile, this man has to break down his wheelchair to get into his car. It's insane. It's crazy that we don't realize those things, right? So we need to gain a different perspective. Like I said, bad things happen to good people all the time. The suffering and pain you endured and survived could save the life of someone else who is alone and scared right now. So the more we reach into our wisdom and the reasons why we go through things, the more we can let it out and give our wisdom to other people so that they too can survive whatever it is that they're going through. I know for a fact, okay? I know for a fact, and I haven't even opened up and told y'all everything, but I can guarantee that at least one person has been inspired by my story that I've told you guys. I can guarantee, because you guys tell me all the time. That's first of all. But the point of that is to tell you guys that I could easily, there's a lot, even in Queenspiration, guys, there's so many things that I could have just been like, you know what, y'all, dang, in the middle of my day, every day, I got to get on this call. No, I get to do this. Change your perspective. You don't have to do anything. I told you guys this yesterday, I think. You don't have to do anything. You get to do everything. I get to get on here and speak to you guys. I get to stop my day, be still for a moment to speak. I get to do that. But the only reason I could do that is because I've had experiences, because I've allowed my pain to give me wisdom. So you can be weak in your pain, or you can allow it to give you the wisdom that you need to help someone else save their lives. Because you have that power. It's crazy to think that, right? Like, oh my gosh, I have the power to save someone's life. Yes, you do. Just by speaking your truth. Just by speaking your truth. There's people that can't get through thinking, oh my God, I didn't eat for a day. But there's people on here alone that could tell you that they went days without eating. But because you survived that and you spoke that out loud, that wisdom that you have because of the pain you endured is now going to be the reason that somebody else survives another day. So I encourage you guys to gain a different perspective. As I mentioned before, Erica's story. Her pain enlightened me to the point where there was no way I could keep going on without speaking to my mom, knowing that she had lost her mother and she endured the pain she did. And that's, like I said, guys, I've been through this with my own wife that lost her father. I was there, but I still couldn't feel, it didn't dawn on me that, whoa, Mo, you have both your parents. What a blessing. But you know why? Because again, like I mentioned to you guys, my wife still has not been or turned her pain into purpose yet, right? So that's why I wasn't able to connect on that level, right? Where I was like, wow, my wife doesn't even have her dad and I'm here not talking to my mom. No, I couldn't think of it that way. But when Erica opened her mouth and told me she got through that pain and how ashamed she felt at some point in her life where she was like, I should have spoke to my mom more. I shouldn't have been angry with my mom. And I was here telling y'all how I wasn't talking to my mom over what? A situation. And I'm not, like I said, I ain't discrediting how she made me feel, because it was very valid. But am I going to sit in it? Am I going to be a victim? No, I'm going to be enlightened by someone else's pain, someone else's wisdom that's going to push me through to speak to my mother, because I could be saving my own mother's life, just based off of Erica's pain and her transparency and her resilience and her courage to open her mouth and speak it. So change your perspective, okay? Gain perspective. And then number 5, which is easy peasy, give and get support. Give and get support. Don't roll your eyes when somebody hits you up with their pain. I've been that person. I'm not going to lie to y'all. Before Queenspiration, my inbox on Instagram, it had nothing to do with my name. It literally would be full of people writing me, and I just would like roll my eyes like, oh my God, I do not have the energy to respond. I was being selfish, not knowing that God was putting all these people in my life because they needed my pain so that they can find their purpose. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's why I had to go through all that stuff. That's just what it is, right? But I have to be able to give that support. And I also have to be able to get that support. What does that look like? Go find a life group. Go join a church. Go talk to a counselor. Find your tribe. Those are huge. But like I said, you cannot be receptive of everything and not give anything out. Understand that you're here for a purpose. All of us are here for a purpose. Literally, God made you with the end in mind. He already knows the outcome of your life. He's just waiting for you. And that's something that they talked about in the event, about how like God is right there behind you and we're walking this way, running this way, trying to go after all these things. And he's just waiting for you to turn around because he's closer than you think. He's in you. He is in you. But he's just waiting for you to realize it. He's waiting for us to stop making ourselves victims of our pain. He's trying to help us realize that, hey, you had to go through this. I promise you in a few years, a few months, a few weeks, a few days even, you might meet somebody that you're going to realize why you had to go through what you had to go through. It's happening to me. So I'm here to tell you guys that I've allowed my pain to turn into purpose. And that is the only reason that I could come up here and speak to you guys. That is the only reason that we have this platform that so many of you guys tell me you love. And I'm so grateful for. But easily, life circumstances could have definitely stopped me from doing this. I could tell you all that for free. I'd be so exhausted sometimes, mentally, emotionally, all the things. But I'm here because I know I need to be here. I know I get to be here. And it's a blessing. And all of you guys are a blessing in your own lives and someone else's lives. And we have to just see that. We have to look deeper and realize that it's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. Our life is not ours. Sounds crazy. Well, this is my life. I do what I want. This is my life. That's what we always tell ourselves, right? No, this life is not ours. God gave us this life for us to be a blessing to other people. So find your purpose. Cherie, if it's makeup, girl, find your do your thing, sis, right? But it's true. Like even Cherie had mentioned before in her younger years, she was getting made fun of, right? She was doing all these things, but look at her. This girl has the confidence of a freaking lion. A lion. She'd be right in on the camera, just talking. I'd be like, that's what's up. That's what I like to see. Why? Because again, that's the confidence that she's going to give someone else that is getting bullied or doesn't feel worthy or doesn't feel valid. It's all it takes. Speak your truth. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be ashamed of it. And I know that's hard, but I mean it. When I told you guys to write down all those words, write them down and share those words. Every day, share something about one of the words that you wrote down. You're going to help somebody. I promise you guys. You're put in place for that. So guys, turn that pain into purpose, because I know this was a heavy call. Woo! I had to shake. Listen, hold on. Let me go look at this at the chat real quick. See, I love you. I'm going to tell you this right now. Natasha, Miss Kelly, listen, she be writing the notes in the chat, y'all. this sis, thank you so much. So you guys take a screenshot of those notes. If you didn't write the notes yourself, I appreciate you, girl. But seriously, guys, we are all we got. Lean into God as much as you can. Lean into your higher power, because he's right there waiting for us. You are a light. That's another thing I'm going to speak about on another day that we heard at the convention. But you are a light, so be the light in every room you walk into. Sprinkle a little bit of you onto every person that you talk to. I promise you, you will feel it. Yes, I love to hear it. Y'all give me life. This call gives you, I love y'all. Y'all don't understand. I love it. This fuels my fire every freaking day. I appreciate you guys more than you know. If anybody has anything to say, go ahead and unmute yourself. Anything you want to, any testimonies, anything you guys want to talk about. Like, seriously, this is a safe place. Yesterday it was crazy. Yesterday we were, after, we did our event, they had a call, like a Zoom call, and they call it the War Room. And the War Room is like, I don't know if you guys ever seen that movie, The War Room, but it was a room that she would go in to pray. And so that's what they did for us. They allowed us to, ask for prayer, and they gave us prayer. I love you. So glad I met you. So glad I met you too. I love you too. I'm telling you, this right. I'm on my live. Sorry, y'all. But guys, it was the War Room, and I want you guys to feel that safeness that I felt last night. I want you guys to understand that this is a safe place. Anything you guys need to speak about, you can speak about. And if you don't feel comfortable speaking here, you can always write me. I am always open. I promise you guys, like I said in the beginning, I see you, I hear you, I love you. I don't have to know you. I don't have to have ever been able to touch you or be in contact with you. This could be the first time that we speak, but this is my purpose. So I'm open. If y'all have anything to say, just unmute yourself. This is the War Room. I'm not going to take that, but this is a safe space. No, Cherie look like she always be looking. She be looking. I don't want to put you on the spot. I always be putting you on the spot.
I know. You definitely do. It's okay. No, this was an amazing lesson, paying into purpose. And it's something I've also been hearing from with Sarah Jakes Roberts too as well. She was talking about how you shift, your passion helps you shift into purpose, but there's suffering attached to the passion, which is the pain you're speaking of. Like, you have to go through something. Like, God is always going to have some type of suffering attached to it. Or sometimes we allow ourselves to suffer for the wrong thing, for the wrong things or the wrong reason, or putting ourselves on clearance. Like, for example, being somewhere you don't really want to be, and you're suffering, maybe exchanging your time or something for the money or whatever the case may be, but you're not happy there, but you're suffering for the wrong things. We have to learn to suffer for, what the things that we actually truly care about and we're passionate about, so that we can help people get to the other side. But also, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But also to know that when we, fight through our struggle, when we're going through something that has glory attached to it, is what I'm trying to say. So, like, you suffering for something you don't really care about, or that's not serving you, there's no glory attached to it. You're suffering for no reason. You know what I mean? So you got to make sure that passion or whatever it is that you're doing in life, you're suffering for it for a reason, that there's glory going to be on the other side of it or attached to it. So, I mean, that talk, kind of paired in a lot with, what you have been sharing, and knowing that, you can't get success. You can't get any of those things that you want without, going through something first that builds you into the person to be able to receive what you are, going for, if that makes sense. That's what I got so far.
Yes, guys. That's it. Understanding that to reach each level, there's a new devil. And that's just what it is, right? The enemy doesn't attack things that are not great. The enemy knows what God has in store for you. So he's going to come after you. Understand that it's okay. It's okay to go through it, but don't be sitting in something that you don't be in no environment that you're not wanted in, just because it looks cool, right? Just because on the outside. No, think about how you feel in the inside always. You know yourself. Listen to yourself. Excuse yourself from any circumstances that are no longer serving you. You don't got to be rude. You don't got to be disrespectful. It don't got to be nasty. But exclude yourself from that. I gotta go. This just ain't gonna work no more. That's just what it is. Because again, like Cherie said, some pain that we put ourselves in that. And some of that just ain't warranted. It's just not. I'm sorry. Nah, God didn't, you did that on your own. So we got to do the work, y'all. We got to do the work. But understand your pain comes with wisdom. So if you utilize it the right way, ain't nothing you can't do. Keep telling your story. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. It's your story. There's a reason you had to go through it. But if you stay quiet about it, you're not helping nobody. So help people. Again, shine your light everywhere that you guys go. Turn your pain into purpose, because you can. That is all. I don't think anybody else has anything to say, but I love you guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. Thank you again for being here. Have a good day.